Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Behind me, a cutout of the 2020 Corvette mid-engine car that nobody has ever showed you in great detail. In today's video, I'm gonna show you everything on this Cutaway car. It may be a long video. I'm also gonna show you the Cutaway on the engine and on the transmission and let you see this car like nobody has ever shown you. Now, if this is the first time you're watching my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Woo! Yeah. Hit that bell notification, thumbs up the video. And if you don't know who I am, I'm one of the top Chevrolet salesmen in the country, huge Corvette enthusiast, owner of a 2LT 2016 Z51 car, manual transmission, and future owner of a 2020 Corvette as well. Now I work for Bachman Chevrolet up in Louisville, Kentucky, and once I have my car, which should be early 2020, you're more than welcome to come and take a look at it. You're more than welcome to drive it and sit in it. All you gotta do is stop by the dealership, Louisville, Kentucky, Bachman Chevrolet. All right, let's get up and personal with this thing. All right, so I will tell you up front, I'm not an engineer. I'm probably gonna say something wrong on here. And if I do, put it down in the comments below. I'll update it in the description. And but the whole point of this is to kind of show you everything I possibly can on this car that nobody else has shown you. We're gonna start at the front passenger, go all the way around clockwise and show you everything about this car. Got the first heat exchanger right here on the passenger side. Absolutely beautiful. Front pillar there. We got some air scoops right there. It's amazing seeing how this comes in. This comes in and goes this way and then starts heading to the back down that tunnel, which that tunnel is pretty big for those little hoses. Do you think that could be a drive shaft going through that big tunnel? We'll have to wait for a few years and find out and see that this scoop right here comes right back to the wheels. You can see there's down here, there's going right to the brakes, an air dam, directing air to it. See the suspension in there, real nice. And of course, this car is for show, so all of this stuff is painted. It's done very nicely. It's not what the production car is going to look like. You can see inside the passenger wheel, the caliper, and the hub, and all of that stuff will look. You can sit there and see the integrity of the car, cross members there. Absolutely amazing. See how this comes in right here. It's labeled right down there so they know from the factory. Looks like there's a pin there for maybe a fender or inner wheel well, something, not too sure. See that frame right there. We'll look to the behind where your feet would go, right there. All that stuff, so your glove box is right there as well. It's kind of interesting. You want to see behind the radio. There you go. There's some vent controls, I'd assume. I'll have to look on the other side. We'll look at that. Magnesium rail right there. Interesting. You can see behind the speedometer there. Driver Information Center. The new Stingray sill plates, really cool. The tub down here. Now your fuel tanks are behind this right here. So there's two fuel tanks just like in previous cars. Really interesting. Look how big that center tub is. I'm telling you, there's going to be a drive shaft going through there one day. Really interesting. Got 3 screws there, kind of showing what's going to be mounted there. Same with all those down there. All sorts of different screws welded in there from the factory through fabrication. Just really interesting stuff, and it's really cool to see before the car's built. Before it's good to see this stuff. Another heat exchanger back there, going directly to the engine. They've got this kind of cutaway. You can kind of see the plastic right here to get as much air going through that as possible. And then I'm not sure if that's going to be any type of functionality. I guess it would be, maybe. When it comes up in there, maybe it would. But that's being closed off, that some air would go through there as well. That air is coming back through here. Kind of interesting. So we look back here. Yeah, there's that vent there. So it's going to go to that vent, I would assume. So we'll look back here. I'm going to show you this, how thick this glass is. I've talked about this glass so many times. So here is the engine appearance package right here, and one of the cross rails. We're going to go over there and I'll show you those here in a second. Again, more suspension parts down there. All sorts of really awesome stuff. It looks so sweet. I love being able to see a video in a car like this. This is where your top will set in for when the target top is back there for coupe models. And then down here, now you can see this exhaust, what this muffler looks like. A lot of room to take that muffler out. A lot of room back here for twin turbos. Look at that right there. That's a lot of room to start turboing this up, changing out those headers, all of that stuff. There's your exhaust coming out there. So this is the Z51 NPP exhaust. So you got the different shutters right there. I would imagine these are for the eco mode on the car right there. So pretty interesting stuff. You got the air filter back there. So that's where, yeah, so now that I'm seeing this, now we can kind of see how this all comes in here like this. Comes right into your air box right here and goes into the intake right there. So it's really interesting to see how that all comes into play. There's your awesome transmission. We're going to show you that here in a little bit. The engine's up there. We're going to show you that separately right after I'm showing you all of this. So this muffler is really interesting. It just kind of shows a lot what they do for engineering and development. Fantastic job by them. And then also how they, they use a lot of stuff similar. This is really looking like the Camaro. You got transmission mounts right there. Really interesting stuff. Moving to the back driver wheel here. Look around everything in here. You got the hub assembly in there. You can see there's a couple of vents right down here. It's kind of tough to see down there. We'll lighten the camera up. So there is what I'm talking about right there. That's a vent that's going to go into what looks like to be into the engine. So it's kind of interesting. It actually goes out this way. I'll see if I can get up there. See how that goes out that way? That's really interesting how they do that. I'll see if I can get something up there to kind of show you what that looks like there. Coming over here, you can kind of see those headers again. Red engine cover that you can get. Here's your fuel fill, so you can kind of see your fuel tanks coming in here right there. So they go right there. The other one is over there. Another condenser right here. And just seeing the frame, how everything is in here is just absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can find out what is going on with this. So you can kind of see that right there. So I guess this is going to be an inlet this way, and that's going to come to the brake. So that's what that's doing. So that's kind of interesting that that is actually getting air into that. So that's going right to the hub. So now we can see that a little bit closer up there as well. Just more in-depth, complete review of this stuff. Absolutely amazing stuff that you can see here. Again, the fuel filler neck. There's foam right around here, so it's kind of interesting. Kind of maybe minimize some squeaks or whatever. I'm not sure what's going to go there once the car's built, but you can kind of see the spark plugs down there. You can see the engine mount down there, the subframes down there. You can see all this stuff pretty good. And then we'll look up here at the halo ring. It's really nice safety mechanism up here. You can kind of see how that's going to bolt up there. Really awesome. So let's talk about this right here. So if you look at my prototype video that will be coming out soon, the prototype actually used carbon fiber right here. They didn't use this metal aluminum right here. They actually used carbon fiber rails right here during the testing of the engine. So it's kind of interesting that they've changed these out. That would be really awesome if they use carbon fiber ones right there. Definitely something I would love to have. But if you got the carbon fiber appearance package right there, there's no reason to even have those carbon fiber, but really awesome. So continuing on here, we have the Gt2 seats in this car, and it's really awesome that they've left the steering wheel and everything in here so you can see it. And I mentioned earlier that there was probably a vent up here. There you go. There's a vent. Being it's a new car, I don't know all these vents locations. I'm remembering them as I do videos and produce them for you guys. But really awesome steering wheel. I showed you other cars being inside the car and showing everything about it. You got the carbon fiber trim right there. Gt2 seats have the carbon fiber up there. And just kind of looking again, the roll cage aspect into the car. This is where your target top is going to fit in right there and lock into place. And then we'll look back here behind this magnesium wall kind of showed that earlier in the video, but this is a little bit up close. Interesting watching all of this stuff here, looking at all of that, and then coming down into the driver's front wheel, seeing all of the information in there. We're gonna hop around there and show you all that. I've mentioned it multiple times before in other videos. The only fluid that you have in the front of the car is the brake fluid, and then the windshield wiper fluid is right here. So that's the only two fluids you have. And your battery is going to be located right here on that. So that's kind of gives you an idea. And then your frunk is right in this area as well. So looking at it from this side over here, all sorts of nice control modules for the lights. That's what this is for. This is to adjust the lights if you ever need to adjust them. And then just kind of looking in here, again, condenser air intake right here, kind of seeing where that's going. Same way as what's going on over here, moving this way, going right straight to the wheels. So you can kind of see that they're coming through here and then just going straight back down that tunnel. It's a big tunnel, mentioned it before. Seems too big. We'll have to find out. If I come back here, because I did forget about this right here, this is the protruded carbon fiber bumper. You can read up on all of this. Completely different from the C7. Amazing stuff. I like knocking on things. Now, let's take a look at that glass. All right, so let's kind of give you an idea on how thick, if the camera focuses, how thick that 9mm is on that glass. Look how thick that glass is. That is crazy thick. My autofocus, I can just feel it. It's just going crazy right now on my camera. So I'm trying to focus on that small piece of glass. But that is a 9mm thick piece of glass. Huge amounts of sound deadening in there, quiet tuning, as they like to put it. But yeah, amazing, amazing. All right, so let's take an up-close look at this brand new dual-clutch transmission. Absolutely amazing when you sit here and look at this stuff. And of course, just like the Cutaway car, everything's nice and shined up and chrome and stuff like that. That's not actually what it looks like inside there, but really, really interesting stuff. I'm gonna get right up and close in here so that you can see everything and you can see things on your own, look at things. I think these are bearings. It's kind of interesting seeing them, how everything works over here. Again, not a mechanic, I don't know any of this stuff, what it does, anything like that. But regardless, if you know what you're looking at or don't know what you're looking at, it's extremely interesting to see of how much development goes into these vehicles and into the transmissions. I'm going to show you the engine here in a second. Just absolutely amazing. It's going to be tough to see all of that in there, but just look at all of that right there. Just amazing, way deep in there. You're not going to get the depth perception, but that is a good 6 to 8 inches inside that transmission, and that's more like 12 inches right there. So absolutely amazing seeing all of that stuff right there. Backing up, we'll look at all these gears. Just absolutely amazing seeing all of this stuff up close. There you go. Let's move over to the new LT2 V8 engine. All right, so here is the LT2 V8 small block engine. Absolutely amazing looking at this stuff. Of course, it sits in the car this way. This is why I started this way, because it sits in the car this way. This goes to the back of the car. You can see the headers here coming out. And for development reasons, you want to put some headers on here. You want to do something. Now you can kind of see how it is. And I'm going to do a video because I'm still doing some research on the maintenance of these cars. So that's been a big question, is how much maintenance is actually on this car? Is it going to be like a supercar? I don't believe it is, but I'm still doing some research to ensure that I can give you guys great information. So let's go back up here to the front. I'm getting a little excited moving around this engine. I want to show you everything I possibly can on this, everything about these cars, this engine, this transmission, as you just saw. So just absolutely amazing on all of this stuff. Your pulleys, all that good stuff. Look at that, just amazing. Here's a piston for you. Absolutely amazing. A couple of the spark plugs. There's a cutaway of the header right there. You can see all the springs in there. You can see all the springs in there. Again, depth perception. It's probably about 8 to 9 inches away from the camera. I'm trying to get in there as close as I possibly can, zooming in on everything so you can see everything so up close. Absolutely amazing. Let's move to the back here and show you everything to the back. So there's a spring there for the flywheel. Again, another piston showing here. It's kind of interesting having this right here. What that does, who knows. All 4 spark plugs you can see right here as well, how those come out, how they come down into here. Now, I don't know about this engine, but the way the LT1 engine throws the spark, you can kind of see how this comes in here. So I don't know if this is actually accurate or not, but on the LT1 engine, it throws the spark across, and it's a 99% efficient spark. So I'm sure they're going after that spark efficiency on this car too. It was kind of interesting seeing that spark plug come in there right there, and how close that is to the piston to get that awesome spark for efficiency on this engine. So again, just kind of looking over everything. Your oil filter is right here. We'll get down here. It looks like we have a drain plug right here, and it appears to be the only drain plug on here. So it looks like one drain plug right there, oil filter back there. And when I get my car, we'll get my car up on the lift, and I'll kind of show everybody how to change the oil, because should be the first person in the country changing the oil on a C8 Corvette as well. So we'll have that. Here's your air intake right here, throttle body. Awesome stuff right there. Here's your air intake and throttle body right there. Pretty interesting right there how that looks. We'll do one more quick walk around on this amazing engine.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, so there is the full Cutaway car. Now, one thing I have learned since doing that video, and this is a big concern that a lot of people have had on the maintenance of the C8, and I'm doing a different outro for that reason. You do not have to drop the engine to work on this car. Also, what was not in that Cutaway car was the fact that inside here, there is a couple sections that you can actually access the engine from behind those seats. So in a nutshell, you take those seats out, you take the center console out, there is access panels behind there, so that way you can get to the camshaft and other things in there, which is extremely important for engine maintenance. Now, I'm going to get more engine maintenance information for future videos, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn all of your bell notifications on, and leave a thumbs up. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day and drive safely.